And welcome to Coach Keaton and Crawford here on the Crawford Podcasting Network here at Grand Traverse Pie Company, corner of Grand River and Hagedorn here in East Lansing, stone's throw away from Michigan State University. Okay, first things first. I want to thank my longtime, lifetime friend Clark Beach, who's in the audience today. He bought me this cinnamon roll, which I'm drooling, which is going to be if I ate it right now, I'd have it all over my face, and I'd look even worse than I typically do on these podcasts.
Face,
and I
everything.
might split it with my podcast partner, Kerry Keaton. If he's nice to me, if he doesn't piss me off, so we'll see how that plays up. Anyway, we talk football, we're still talking football, still getting over Michigan's national championship, but let's talk the Detroit Lions. And the beautiful thing about this 31-23 victory over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, first time the Lions are going to be in the NFL championship games, I think 30 years ago when they got blown out by the Skins, Barry Sanders days. Remember that? They beat the Cowboys and they got knocked out by the Skins on the road. But 30 years, and then you got to go, winning an NFL championship, 1957, I was one. This guy was, what, -11?
It was still not even a thought.
Not even a thought.
Not even a thought.
Not even a ponder.
No.
Big Jim's eyes.
There's plenty to get through before it got to me. There was a lot of
Keatons had to be
a lot of people
produced before it got to this guy.
Absolutely. Man.
Anyway, what are your thoughts? Are you happy for, okay, the beautiful thing about this, we talked to Clark and you and I about this before the podcast, was this, is that this is not a state divided thing. Michigan State, it's either one or the other, and everybody's in each other's face, everybody's mean-spirited, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But everybody is a Lions fan right now, on Facebook this morning. Everybody, TV shots, people are down at Ford Field. It's unbelievable. We're all together, except there are outliers. Who don't like the Lions. You actually are an outlier. Would you define yourself an outlier?
Well, to a certain extent. I'm a Steelers fan, period.
Well, and how did that happen? That's Pittsburgh. That's a long ways from here.
Well, we had this conversation before, years ago, with the ABC channels out of Bay City and in the Lansing affiliate. They played the AFC, the game, and it was always Pittsburgh or Cleveland or Cincinnati,
right,
or Baltimore, and there was a lot of players that looked like me that played for the Steelers before they were good.
It looked like you.
And so that's who I gravitated to. And so that's who I watched, and then obviously with,
Now like
Joe Green
Greg Lloyd, big Greg Lloyd, not the Greg Lloyd that played for the Quakers, but the Greg Lloyd that played for the Steelers.
that was way after.
Okay.
Like that's when they got good.
Okay. Oh, you liked them when they were bad.
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, because
from the core.
Yeah.
You were a Steelers
no
fan.
doubt. And my sister was a Cowboys fan. How that ever happened, I have no idea. Must have been a star or something.
It's a beauty of the NFL.
But,
it's like there's an option. Cowboys fan, America's team. My good friend Jim Baker, the football coach for the Lansing Catholic Cougars, he's a Steelers fan. I don't know how that started. I don't get that.
Smart guy.
Well, yeah, okay, whatever.
But to answer your question, I'm very happy. I have many friends that are Lions fans, and I'm extremely happy for them.
Okay,
I'm happy
good.
for the city of Detroit. The money that they made the last 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
Right. I believe it. I'm not a hater at all, but NFL is not as strong with me as obviously college.
Well, the same with me.
But
college guys.
I appreciate them, and quite honestly, I expected them to beat Tampa Bay. I knew they would struggle in the back end, which they did. Mike Evans went off, and
you knew that was gonna that flower was gonna
absolutely
blossom.
But if Debo can't play, Sanford, Brock Purdy got real human all of a sudden when Debo went down.
Purdy when he's got a clean pocket. When he's got a clean pocket.
And we have all them weapons.
What's that?
And he has all those weapons.
Yeah.
He got exposed.
Well, Debo out of there. That's a huge chunk. Now, I'm not getting it. San Francisco is still There's a
there's
reason they're the number one seed.
no
And let me
question,
tell you
no
something
question
about
about
this. Did you see? This is what I always equate. The first, you know, with these two teams that get the bye, right? One's in the AFC, one's you got the Ravens, and you got the Niners.
Ravens look good.
It took a half. It took a half to get the Ravens. It was 10-10 at halftime with the Texans. I think when you have that week off, it can work against you for a little bit. I mean, I think Ray Lewis went in there and started tearing up lockers maybe at halftime. I don't know, but they were a different team. Lamar Jackson was
Nico
sensational.
Ryan's pretty good coach now.
Hey, John Harbaugh.
C.J. Stroud pretty good too.
Oh yeah. But
they're going to be
my
a
point
problem
is,
going forward.
so I think the Niners won with their B game yesterday or Saturday, whatever that was.
I don't know what. I'm still frustrated about that because I don't know what Jordan Love was thinking. It was what, 3rd and 2, 2nd and 2, 3rd and 2. Just run. If Joey Bosa catches you, then you might need to retire because you're a quarterback. You're not supposed to get caught by a defense. Just run. He had all that room down the side. Just run down the side, like run out of bounds, keep it drive.
Right.
Why he threw that ball back?
Yeah.
I mean, there was no way that ball.
Don't throw late over the middle, the Cardinal rule.
Yeah.
But you know when Aaron Jones had that big run, and this was in the fourth, and I'm trying to think how much time was left, but a field goal would have put them up a full 7. He missed the field goal. I mean, the door.
You got one.
It went from creaky, you know, it creaked open a little bit.
You got one job to do.
You got one job. We saw that last night in the Buffalo game. You got one job. I follow your post every time you respond.
Norwood is sitting back in his chair.
It's just not me.
It's not me.
It's just not me.
It's just not me anymore.
Wide right.
That ball didn't have a chance. Straight to the right.
Yeah, that was tough on the Buffalo fans.
But he had two. But that's again, Josh Allen. He had two people. Like the first one, Diggs was running. Just throw the ball to Diggs and let him go up the. What are you doing? He tried to throw the ball all the way down the field, being greedy.
Yeah.
Because if nothing else, if you didn't learn anything from last year, Josh Allen, what do you not want to do? You do not want to give Patrick Mahomes the ball back.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, Josh Allen is a freaking stud. He looks like a 4-5 linebacker flying down. That guy's a man's man. I mean, if I had a quarterback to build around, it would be Josh Allen. In my opinion. I mean, his age, everything, his dimensions, the whole bit. But that's another.
He got to win some first.
Let's talk about the lines. You know, we talked about this. You embrace opportunity. It's like with Michigan. I got to go back to Michigan. They had to win it this year. Why? They were never in the history that I followed Michigan football that deep on both sides of the ball. The coaching culture, everything lined up perfectly. Okay,
Sure.
You got to go get it.
Absolutely.
With the Lions, this is it. You got to go get it because I'm telling you what, the Packers are young. You're not going to win the division next year, in my opinion. I think the Packers are going to win.
I think so.
Yeah, I do. I just see. You got to go for it now. So they got to go beat the Niners and then take a shot against the Ravens. Got to go get it. And let's have that parade from Woodward Avenue to Mackinac Bridge we've talked about for years. That parade will go that long in this state if the Lions win.
I was so happy when they got down there the first drive and it stalled and it kicked the field goal. I just took a sigh of relief. I was like, good.
So it wasn't Dan Gamble every time.
Get the points when you could get early.
But Dan Gamble,
especially early.
But
when it got later, okay.
But the Craig Reynolds touchdown on 4th down, that's a Dan Gamble. And you want Craig Reynolds? That guy's got some. He's got some testicles.
Sure.
Dan Campbell, good size ones.
But that was the right time. Everything is in the NFL, especially, is always predicated on timing and when to do. And most of it predicates itself on when you should and when you shouldn't. And sometimes he does when he shouldn't, and it's come back to bite him in the butt. But
he's in the NFC Championship game,
Absolutely.
so all that butt biting he's tolerated the butt biting.
And he's lived to another day
awesome.
to get
Who doesn't
through it.
like Dan Campbell?
Only a non-football player kind of person. He's impossible to not He's
I mean, he's
impossible to
47
not
years
root
old.
for.
He looks like he could play right now.
He's
He's got
impossible to
that
not
Chris
root for.
Spielman, like he's going to be muscular his entire life.
Oh yeah,
You know?
he really again he's impossible to not root for if you because you're just not because he's
Well, he's real.
He's like us.
Yeah, he's real.
He's not.
Well, he's
you
not
know,
like
you
me.
ask him a question, he give you an answer. You know, not Belichick.
I'm not like him.
You know, no. You ask him a question, he's gonna tell you exactly.
Goes back to that
how
kneecap
he feel.
thing. Bust a
Ain't no
kneecap back.
question. We're gonna
I mean,
fight him,
he won
you
the
know.
press conference. Every coach wins the press conference. But when he would hire, man, he really won the press conference. The Lions went through so many freaking coaches.
He's not only a player's coach, but I don't know. It's different because he's just like you say. I keep it real. Hey, he keeps it real.
Yeah.
And he keeps it real with his guys though too.
Yeah.
And they respect that. You never hear even guys that have left. You never heard Swift or anybody say anything bad about Campbell because I can only imagine the meetings and the talks that we don't know anything about how real those. I mean, I love to keep it, but you're just not getting it done.
Yeah.
Or you're injury prone, or whatever the case may be. You know, we gotta let you go. Okay. You know, there's no wishy-washy, and I can't see him being anything like that. And he's an emotional guy.
Very emotional.
That's what
and I think there's a lot of everybody likes relatability. And you know, if the Lions fans, you know, like I was watching in my basement at Crawford Indoor Stadium. You know, I got the volume at a certain level. You know, typically at a game, but I had to lower the volume because the crowd noise coming off, you know, off the TV broadcast. I mean, it was another level at Ford Field, and I knew a ton of people were down there. My radio partner Jack Evans was down there. We did press pass last night. He anchored it from there, and it was crazy. The passion level for the Lions fan base.
You know what it was?
Unreal.
It was like a college atmosphere. The way because I was actually at my
It was
daughter.
like SEC on steroids.
My daughter have a volleyball tournament, so that's where I was at yesterday. That's why we're doing this morning instead of yesterday morning, which works out
Well, it works out good because we can talk about the Lions. We'll do this. Maybe we can do this
And,
next Monday morning.
hey,
We can talk about
That'd be a thing.
the Lions' victory over the Niners and birth of the Super Bowl.
And I had my iPad so I could watch the game.
Yeah.
Because they did well and they ended up playing for they ended up taking third place. So, you know, kudos to Ballistic Volleyball.
There you go.
All right.
All right.
So, but I got my iPad and I'm watching the game and my wife's like, "Can you turn that down?" I'm like, "Turn what?" So you get like, I mean, I had it on full, but it's not like my iPad is like super loud. But the noise of the game, you could hear it, and the people like looking, and the people that walking by trying to look. Hey man, look, this is for
That's
two over here.
decades of frustration.
And,
And the Lions fans have always shown up, whether
They
it's
had
Silverdome.
they had the towels going,
Oh,
and
yeah.
everybody. I'm like, it looked pretty cool. My friend,
They had those little blinky things. that they all gave.
Coach Jorge, shout out, incredible Lions fan, coaching with us at East
Yeah.
Lansing.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
some people are really in the Lions, and I'm happy for them. I mean, like I said, I'm more of a college. I'm a college football fan. I watch the NFL every Sunday. I watch the Lions since the Mill Plum Pat Studstill days, number 16 and number 25. That was a terrible team, by the way. So bad joke. But I mean,
he was there.
I can't, but I
so
know.
he was in that.
But
He was loving it.
I think about those people. Gary Baxter, general manager of Fox 47, longtime friend. That guy bleeds Honolulu blue, and I know he's giddy right now. I mean, there's some people that are so into it, and you could get people crying. Jack Evans told me that when he was on that Monday night game when they beat the Raiders, he saw, and this was like early in the season.
Right.
People were crying walking out of the place on that big Monday night game.
Well, that young kid that they showed, that he was like.
Oh yeah. Well, he tied it into his dad. Oh yeah. You know the last week when the Rams.
They gave him.
You know why?
Bernstein
Because
gave
I'll
him
tell
some
you.
tickets and stuff.
I'll tell you. Well, yeah, I'll tell you exactly why. Because it triggered a connection of he and his dad going to games together.
Okay.
You know, so I think there's an emotional link that ties into. That's
And that older gentleman that they showed that was there,
who's been there since 1957.
Yeah, how about
a season
that?
taking hold. I mean, that's insane.
amazing.
Now that is loyalty.
Absolutely. They
Anyway.
better get him some tickets to go to San Francisco and watch his game.
Yeah. So
I'm sure they will.
last
Somebody
question
will.
for you, Kerry. What do you think happens next week? out in
Oh,
Santa Clara, California.
I can see
I
Detroit winning that game.
don't want you to tell me what you can see. I want you to tell me what we are going to see in York.
Yes, I did.
Okay?
If Samuel can't play,
Debo Samuel,
Purdy
number
throws
19.
Purdy throws 2 picks.
You're throwing some criteria out here, man. I'm
Purdy throws 2 picks. Well, if he can't play, they're going to be in trouble anyway. But I think the defense, they get the pressure. Purdy will throw it to the other team, and I think Detroit can win the game. Let's say defense, a couple field goals.
add them up. Give me a score.
23, 17.
What are you looking at there?
Well, I'm just I'm trying to think like what, because golf.
I see 27-21 Lions.
23-17.
27-21. And great linebacker core play. You're going to get through the line.
You
You're
know
gonna get through.
who won the game? Who sealed the deal yesterday? Number 55, baby. You already know.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Double
no.
nickel. 23-17 Lions.
Okay.
Going
we both
to the
got-
Super Bowl.
So that's we're talking about that. We're gonna be here next Monday, anyways. So come on out, 8 o'clock. We thought it was 7:30, 8 o'clock, and then hopefully 2 weeks later. So it'd be 2 weeks from Sunday, Super Bowl. Can you not to get ahead of ourselves? Can you
Where's it
imagine
at
what
this
this
year?
state will be like?
It's in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, Mercedes, whatever they call it.
Allegiant Stadium.
Oh, it's Allegiant. Is Allegiant?
Yeah.
Mercedes. What's that? Is that Atlanta? I
Stadium
don't know.
is Georgia Dome.
Atlanta. It's always a sponsorship.
Opens up.
But this is the Grand Traverse Pie Company, Coach Keaton Crawford podcast. He's got to have a sponsor, right?
Hey, they might have to start throwing some dollars.
Yeah. But
all these podcasts.
I'm going to partake in this cinnamon roll. My good friend Clark Beatty gave me, and so I can't go any longer. So for Kerry Keaton, Tom Crawford, until next time,
Go green.
go Honolulu Blue and amazing. Until next time.